So it was reported that Buhari actually died in London and that he was taken to Saudi Arabia. Then he was replaced by a body double, Jubril, from Sudan, tested with rats and all that. So it was really a big controversy in Nigeria. What do you say about that period?
Well, that is, Garba Shehu has said that he lied about the rats and the infestation. All I could tell you, I was in Abuja at that time. You see, the use of body doubles, it's a norm used across countries by presidents and leaders.
My people, our people say wonders, not the end. Wonders shall never end. Now, wow, finally. So the truth has finally been revealed that Muhammadu Buhari is not the real person Nigerian thought that he is when they're returning from London. And then Mazi Kano has been saying the truth since all those while. But some of the Nigerian people, they don't understand. They don't believe him. But finally, the truth has now been revealed. And this video, this man here, this journalist here, that interview this Buhari minister that works with him, starting from the first day to the end and to the day he handed over to President Buhari, Tinubu, to this time around. So he gives an interview. So in this interview, he reviews so many things concerning what happens in the Buhari government, the atrocities and the things that he committed, so many things that happened during his government. So I would like you people to cool down and watch the video, and also watch the video where Mazi Kano said the truth concerning what was going on then and everything that was happening. But Nigerian people, they don't listen to it. They feel like that Nnamdi Kanu is just a talkative, just talking too much because of his looking for his Biafra, but not knowing that he's saying the whole truth about what is going on. Well, as you're planning to watch the video, try to subscribe and share to go around the world, and tell us what you feel like, in this country, how this country is supposed to be in the way it is going now. Thank you.
As I said earlier during my broadcast, numerous of them from Israel, the man in Aso Rock is not Buhari, and together we are all going to prove that this very day.
The man, Muhammadu Buhari, has died. Of course, you were around during his military days, you were around during his him being president days, and yesterday he passed. How would you describe the man?
Well, Buhari was an enigmatic figure, very much unknown to most Nigerians, because when first he was a military president, I lived in Ikeja, and I was in Ikeja, Lagos, when he was overthrown by President Babangida. And so we didn't know him, but people believed a lot that the rhetorics that he mounted then, if they had given him chance, he would have done them. Then finally, after several trials, he became a president under a democracy and went on to do things for which, as I'm talking to you today, in the Hausa state of Katsina, as they heard that he died yesterday, children were running along the streets celebrating, saying Buhari Yamutu, and they were all laughing. Buhari is dead. Why are Hausas jubilating at Buhari's death? Because Katsina is about 87% Hausas, but Katsina doesn't have a Hausa as governor, deputy, SSG or whatever. They were totally cleansed. In Katsina, Hausas were so killed that in places like Basari, Dutsima, Kankara, Damusa, and places like, where will I call now? Even in Katsina itself, Hausas were being killed by foreign Fulanis. I went there, that was in Kankara. I went from the Biriningwari, Funtua, Kankara Road, and I got there, and Hausas were complaining that when I met this some foreigners, I found that they were not Nigerians. Most of them spoke Bambara as most speak French. So they were from Mali. They were displaced from Mali due to the war in central Mali in a place called Mopto between Fulanese and Dogons, and they came in. Yes, Buhari tried to find them accommodation by trying to resettle them in what he called grazing reserves. Nigerians didn't give him. And then, despite all he did, he couldn't get land. And they started in Katsina State. That's why Katsina is very, very unique. It was in Katsina where these killings, the industrial scale ethnic cleansings of indigenous people started to take land of houses to resettle Fulani refugees from Mali. Now, as he died, houses are celebrating on the streets of Katsina that Buhari has died. Yes, I read yesterday his wife begging that Nigerians should forgive him, that he said that Nigerians should forgive him for his mistakes. That's probably because he didn't know that 8 years of reign wouldn't be enough for him to achieve that which is sought. Part of his legacy, you saw when Tinubu visited Benue State. That's what he did. He Afghanistanized our military, so much so that those who are now in charge in our military cannot protect Nigerians. They can protect us. That's why you saw foreigners referring to our military as cowards. That was Buhari's doing. And today, you saw, this is Buhari's legacy. You cannot run away from it.
Dr. Nonuju.
You can't run away from it.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Nonuju. Looking at the life and times of President Muhammadu Buhari, he's a man of many sides, different opinions from different angles, depending on who you ask. For you, as a public affairs analyst, Dr. Nonuju, what is one thing that stands out for you during the time of Buhari? What do you like about the man? What was one thing he did right? One thing that stood out for you that, he did this right. Talking about the man, Muhammadu Buhari.
Politicians are known for trying to deceive the crowd. Buhari was a master class when it comes to deception. Buhari was fundamentally dishonest, deceitful, and if you also checked about him, he was, for me, he was just incompetent in managing Nigeria's diversity. You can't take that away from Buhari.
Yeah, Dr. Nonuju,
and this is the issue.
Yeah. The question is, what was one thing you liked about him? One good thing.
That's what I liked about him. That's what I liked about him. He was a master class when it comes to deception. You see, because Buhari was seen, and we called him Megaskia. Megaskia in Hausa means the truth master. I grew as a Hausa child, so I knew him and I believed in him. And even when they said it, I didn't support him when he was running for president. But when he got in, I said, okay, to Yenzimona de Megaskia, Komashi Megaskia, who knows he's going to do good things. No. What Buhari did now was he wasted his 8 years. We had 3 recessions under Buhari. Buhari did not see the beauty of our diversity. He didn't see that. Buhari weaponized nepotism against the Igbos. One trick is that despite Buhari's 8 years, Igbos are still Nigerians. Remember, he said 5%. But when people kept quiet about the 5%, it now got to 98%. Nigerians were dispossessed. Buhari weaponized nepotism in a way no one else ever did in Nigeria's history. So what I liked about him, he was a master class when it comes to deception. Most politicians will lie, but Buhari was an embodiment of deception. And that's why you see, now his wife said, forgive him. I don't know how we're going to do about it. We're in trouble today. The country is in a mess today, and the biggest problem we have is insecurity. Never mind the law after Buhari and Tinubu has visited Benue. I am afraid about our tomorrow. Our people cannot sleep. Our farmers cannot go to farm. It is Buhari. Why? The militias that he brought in from outside countries, he said it himself, that they came from Libya, they were this and that. This is not true. Most came from Burkina Faso. Most came from Mali. Some came from Central African Republic. Buhari allowed them to come into Nigeria with guns. And today, Nigerians cannot sleep. So whether you say, well, look, if you're very good in what you do, I respect you for that. But it was a master class when it comes to deception. That's who he was.
All right. Now, many things have been said about the man Buhari. You know, when he ran in 2015, you know, the demeanor around him, the mystery around him, in fact, the projections and the testimony around him was, it was a very anti-corruption czar, somebody who was going to fight corruption because he doesn't live a flamboyant lifestyle. He has been somebody who live on the low, even though he has been head of state before, and somebody who wouldn't be given to an ostentatious lifestyle, and somebody who will control the realm. You know, but when he got in, the rest is history for Nigerians to say. Maybe he really got what he promised, or gave Nigerians what he promised by anti-corruption fight and all of those things. If it was a ruse, or it was a success, or it was just a front for him to come in now. When he was military head of state, he was there with, you know, his right-hand man, the late Tunde Idiagbon. And many persons remember to say it was a no-nonsense era. It was war against corruption era. And everybody fell in line, were whipped in line. You can't throw things anyhow on the road. You cannot steal. You'll be jailed and all of those things. Many persons still have that memory of him to be that man who, you know, never wanted to see or hear anything as far as corruption is concerned. That was how he and Idiagbon ran the government in the 80s. Would you say that wasn't a credit to the man?
Well, that was Idiagbon. People say that was Idiagbon. And Idiagbon, to the extent that even when Idiagbon traveled to Mecca and there was a coup, Idiagbon flew into Nigeria. That tells you who Idiagbon was. But you see, the mistake was when he now became president, there was no Tunde Idiagbon. And then some other people took over. When you see a man this old, he becomes president. Of course, he'll be so weak he cannot be able to run. So what you have now is a cabal of his own people. They will come there. The first thing they did, they appropriated the office of the vice president. And when they did appropriate the office of the vice president, they now constituted themselves into a cabal. And as you know, the rest is history. So, yes, we're talking about Tunde Idiagbon. He worked with Buhari. There was that no-nonsense game about discipline. But what about when Buhari ran alone? We couldn't see anything about discipline. As you said, you used the right word, ruse. It was a ruse. It was a ruse. Don't forget how much money that was expended and publicly declared for the Aso Rock Clinic. But look at it. It's part of the ruse. Buhari and Abdul Salami are in London being treated by Nigerians who ran away from Nigeria because of his bad governance. How come he never built the hospital so that he could stay here and be treated here? Remember the publicly advertised money. Buhari didn't fall sick after he left power. He was sick before he became president. If it was not a ruse, why didn't he build just one hospital? Why didn't he take the existing hospitals and then upgrade one to the extent that he could be treated in
Dr.
it?
Karch, that
was being treated
typical
in a London hospital, and that's where he died.
The issue of medical tourism is typical of almost every top Nigerian politician. Is it just a Buhari thing?
Well, if the truth about the present generation of Nigerian politicians, if the truth about the present generation of the politicians is that they are not honest, should Buhari now become the poster boy? That is a question you have to ask yourself. So you're telling me almost all. Why should Buhari, that we thought was Megaskia, suddenly now become the poster boy for them? Buhari died in London. But Buhari did not build or nor upgrade one single hospital in Nigeria that he could be treated in. Instead, it was the young people that ran away to London. Most of them were the ones attending to him in the London clinic where he died. But that's why you see now the youth moving more. They want a new face for the country. So when you see young people seeking for a new Nigeria, there's a reason for it. We have become very, very disappointed at the issues of deceitful, dishonest people who simply will promise you and will fail you.
All right.
So I believe I'm now telling people that Buhari is begging. Buhari begged her to please ask them to forgive him. But why ask forgiveness when you did what you did? Never in Nigeria's history have we had a president who allowed foreigners.
Unfortunately, we lost audio connection there. We'll try to reestablish connection. I was about to, hit him with one critical point there. He was talking about Nigerians, not being happy about a leader who, promoted foreigners taking over Nigeria and all that. Yes, if you ask me, that could be subjective as well. Buhari as a man, he has said a lot of things about Buhari. Yes, not every Nigerian loved Buhari. I was actually hoping he could mention one good thing. No matter how bad a man is, I believe there should be a good side. Something he did well. I hope we actually get to that. Apart from that, I hope Dr. Karch can hear us, and when he joins us back, there's this issue I would like him to address. In 2018, because I was just seeing a report, I was looking at a report, a BBC report published on 3rd of December 2018 about Buhari denying claims that he actually died in London. That was the biggest controversy in Nigeria. In 2018, there were reports. Dr. Karch, can you hear us now?
Well, that issue was...
Okay, I'm about to land. Please hold on, Dr. Karch. So thankfully you can hear us. So talking about the issue of 2018, when Buhari was in London, he was ill for some months. He was not in Nigeria. Some documents came up being spread by Nnamdi Kanu. There was even a document showing a condolence letter signed by the Queen of England. So it was reported that Buhari actually died in London and that he was taken to Saudi Arabia. Then he was replaced by a body double, Jubril, from Sudan, infested with rats and all that. So it was really a big controversy in Nigeria. What do you say about that period?
Well, that is Garba Shehu has said that he lied about the rats and the infestation. All I could tell you, I was in Abuja at that time. You see, the use of body doubles, it's a norm used across countries by presidents and leaders. So yes, Buhari was sick, but because of the overwhelming clamor for him to return, somebody returned a body double, and it wasn't Buhari, and that body double didn't have the biometric to gain access. So if you ask me, I'll tell you yes. There were different pictures that different people who look like Buhari, those were body doubles. But I will tell you that body doubles are not new. Body doubles are used across the world by several people in statecraft. The body double that time, the person who came back didn't have Buhari's biometrics. Yes, he had the Buhari's face, but he couldn't enter that particular place and that was why they had to get Julius Berger to come and remove it and then try to just give a key that will go in and out without a biometric lock for it to open. That's what happened. But Buhari didn't die. No, Buhari was sick. Buhari was severely sick, because when Buhari dies, we would know. Now he's dead. Now we know. Now the games of apology have started going around. But then we are talking about who he was. Under him, Nigeria had 3 recessions. Not because Nigeria didn't know didn't have the intelligent people to run an economy, because Buhari's nepotism shut out intelligent people from governance. He only took the people he said were his people, he clans people.
Sorry, Dr. Karch. Sorry to cut in, Dr. Karch. I just want you to clarify on something. So are you saying at that point that a body double was actually returned to Nigeria first, who couldn't gain access into the president's office at the villa?
That's what happened. That was what happened. But I'm telling you, that time Buhari hadn't died, but because of the disturbance we were having in regards to the amount of days he could stay out of office and why he should be mandated to hand over to the vice president, which he didn't hand over, somebody came in, but the person couldn't gain access because that was a body double. So they came in, and the pictorial effect of, look at my face, Buhari is back. Yes, that was a body double.
Thanks for tuning in to Smart Okoson TV show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share to keep the intellect flowing.